I'm using impeccable yarn. It is a size 4 medium and it's asking for a 5mm hook, and the color I'm using is citron.
You will need 2.
And the appropriate size 5mm hook.
Okay, so let's begin. First thing you want to do is make a slip knot like you do anytime we start a project. Now we're going to be making some chain. This pattern calls for multiples of 6. So make sure you count your chain so you are doing multiples of 6. I chained up 90.
Add 3 more for the turnaround. So 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do a double crochet into the 3rd stitch from the hook. To do a double crochet, yarn over. Let's count our 3. 1, 2, 3. So right there. And let's put in our double crochet, which is yarn over, pull through, 3 on, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that created our first cluster because we're crocheting in the same stitch 2. And because the turnaround here counted as 1. So there's our first 2 coming from the same stitch. Okay, so now we're going to do is chain 2, 1, 2, skip 2, 1, 2, and in here put another double crochet. And another double crochet into the same space. Chain 2, so that's a repeat pattern. Chain 2, skip 2, and in the 3rd one we put 2 double crochets into the same chain space. And into the same chain space, another one. So keep doing that till you get to the end of the row. And you should have exactly the right number. Okay, so let's put our 2 double crochets in here. And let's take. So now that we finished with the foundation row, we're gonna do our scales in our crocodile stitch. So to do that, we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to be putting 5 stitches on this side, on this post, and then 5 stitches going this way around this post. Chain up 3, that counts as the first, so we need to put 4 more double crochets in to this side. So just turn it like this and you're putting it this way. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so now if you look at your work, you'll see that what we did is we did 5 around this side, and now we have to go this way, but we go from bottom up. So it makes it easier if you turn your work, and I'll show you how to turn your work. Just simply rotate it to the left, like that. So now chain 1, and now we look at this post here, and we've got to go 5 on this side. So we just turn it some more, so it's the opposite of what you did. So before you work this way, now your work is this way. Okay, so if you fold it just a little bit, it just makes it easier to go in. So let's do 5 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So let's straighten it. There's our first scale. You can always know where the bottom is by our little slip stitch here, and that is always going to be our bottom. So now we're going to skip this one, because if we do it this way, you'll see it's going to be way too bulky. So we always go into the second pair. Okay, so let's pick up our yarn, and second for the next one, chain 1. Make sure this is front to you, skipping this one into this one, we want to crochet here. So I'm going to hold it up like that and do my 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, straighten your work if you get confused. Remember, your work should always be light. Okay, so now we have to go this way. So let us just turn it and pinch this part off. Okay. Two, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. And you can see there's our 2 crocodile stitches. Okay, let's pick up our work. So if you always, the easiest thing to remember so you don't get confused, this is always the bottom where your slip stitch is. You're going to be working your little crocodile stitches going this way. Okay, so we always work in the front. So chain 1, go to the next one, we skip this one. Remember this first cluster we skipped, we go into this cluster. And we're going to be crocheting down 5, chain 1, up 5. So first let's go down. So let's pinch this and do our 5 going this way. I hold my hole here because it makes it easier for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1. Okay, so now I want to go the opposite way. So if you look at it, this is my this way, and this is my second post, and I want to go this way. So I'm just gonna pick that up, pinch it, and put in my 5 double crochets in here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Again, look for the bottom. Here's my bottom, and there we have it. There's 3. Okay, you ready for the next one? Chain 1. If you look at this, we're going to skip this batch. We go into this one, and we go this way and this way. Okay, so just let my dangle. This is my first one we skipped, second one right in there. That's where we want to go, in the same way as this one. Okay, let's do our 5 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, and now we turn. So you look at it, you can see it, it's very easy. Now we have to go up. So just pinch it this way. So now my little scales are in the front of me. So 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Chain 1, and let's straighten it. And this is our bottom. There's our scales, and we're working this way. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's carry on and let's do this till we get to the end of the row. So when you get to the very end, so there's your skip 2, you're going to put it in right here. 1 this way, and the last one will go in there. Okay. and chain 1, and now we're going to turn it and there. 1 and 2. And that completes our first row. So now we're going to build on the second row. Chain 3. And now this space here, we're going to put a double crochet into there, right in there. So let's put one double crochet there, and this counts as kind of our cluster. So now we're going to, this is a repeating pattern, chain 2, and the space in between, if you open up the scales, you'll see this is our 2 double crochets that we did not crochet into, or that we did not put our crocodile stitch, and this is where we want to go. So let's put 2, you're going to go right through and do 2 double crochet into that space. There we go. Okay, chain 2, 2 double crochets right in here. So you're doing 2 double crochets and right in the center. You're going to chain 2, and you're going to do 2 double crochet into that space in between where these 2 are. So right in there. Okay, so keep doing that till you get to the end of the row. Let's move on to the next row. So now we're going to be doing scales in between, doing a crocodile stitch right in between. So we cannot do it here because then it's just going to double up. It's not going to look as pretty as if we go here. So we start off by chaining 1, oh, skipping this one. This is the one that's right above us, right? Because we don't want to go in here because then it's going to look silly. And we're going to go into this one right here. So again, you have to go in between. So if you hold it apart, you will see there's the post. So we're going to go this way, and we're going to go again 5 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, and now we have to go back up. So we're going to turn it so these are away from us, and there's our post right in there. Okay, put the 5 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now let's straighten it up. Remember, it's always to the right, so this is always bottom left. And there's our first stitch. So see how it looks pretty when it's in between? There. So now from this point, we'll do exactly the same thing what we've been doing. Chain 1, skipping the one that's right above, and we're going to go in here. Okay, so keep doing that until you get to the end of the row. So I've come to the end of the row, and you can see it's kind of up in the air, so we're going to have to secure that. And if you look at below, this is where we did our chain 3, and this is where we did our first double crochet. So if you go right in here and slip stitch to join. So if you just go straight in there and slip stitch to join. So and that secures it to this post. And now for the next row, this is all just a repeat of the one below. So we go 1, 2, 3. That counts as a first double crochet. And now because this one is here and we have to do a foundation for this one, because this one's going to sit here, we're going to have to go one more time into the same space. So let's do a double crochet in here. There. And that lays the foundation for our next row. Chain 2, put in 2 double crochets in here. Chain 2, put 2 double crochets in here in between, and keep doing that till you get to the end of the row. So So I've come to the end of the row, and as you can tell, there's one more. That's this one here, and we have to get in there because that creates also a foundation on this side. So there's my 2 double crochets in here.
So the rows alternate between the shorter row and the longer row. So the longer row's below and the shorter one's above. So now we're doing the longer row.
So chain 1, and we're going to put in
and we're going to start by putting a crocodile stitch right in here. So from now on, it's all a repeat. You're going to repeat the first crocodile row, and then followed by the first foundation row, and then the second crocodile row, followed by the second foundation row. So keep doing that till you reach your desired height.
So I've reached the desired height that I want to be, and I'm just going to finish off now. I think I just have one slip stitch in that row to do. There we go, and that joins it. So now what we have to do is we have to kind of put a little border, or else you're going to have this loose things, and you don't want that at the very top. So what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet all across. So start by chaining 1, then we're going to find our first stitch, which is right here above that. See, there's 2 here, 1 in the middle, 2 here, 1 joining, and that's how we're going to do the crochet. So let's go into the first one, and let's do our single crochet into the second one, and do our single crochet, 1 in the middle, do a single crochet, 1 again. Of course, these 2, that's why it's important. But so you don't want to go down here, you want to go up at the higher one. And what that creates, it just creates a nice little, border at the very top, which is what we want. Okay, so 2, 1, so you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 for this, and then 1 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 in here. So keep doing that till you get to the end of the row. So I've come to the end. I'm going to put 1 more in right there on between this one on top. It's our single crochet. There we go. And now I'm just going to cut my yarn. Gonna yarn over and pull through. And that completes. So you're going to have to go each one and straighten it. Just take some water, and when you're done pressing down, just take a tea towel and put something heavy on it and just leave it overnight. And I'm just going to fold it over to meet this side here. And we're going to be connecting on the back, right? So we're not facing the front. So if you look at these, you will see that it's very much clustered to clustered. So we're going to be going on top of the clusters, on top of the clusters. That's all. But here we have to build a little bridge. Let's start by inserting our crochet hook right here. I'm going to go 1 over, so not in this hole, but here. And pinch off a bit of a yarn to make an eye. Put my hook into it and pull it through. And holding the tail and the yarn over and pull through, and that hooks it on. Okay, so now I'm going to chain 2. And I'm going to insert my crochet hook right there over the V's and pick up my yarn over and pull through. Okay, and that hooks that on. Do a double crochet in here, and we're going to join it to this panel on this side by slip stitching. Here we go. And now it brings us to our clusters. Okay, if you want to make this extra sturdy, go ahead, just put one more double crochet in there. And then we'll go to the opposite side right there and slip stitch. So now we're going to be matching cluster to cluster. Okay, so we know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth one is in the big hole, and the same thing on the other side. So let's go into the first one. We're just going to slip stitch, right? So we're just going to go in here and in here under the V. And there it is. And slip stitch. And the next one. And slip stitch. And the next one. And slip stitch. And the next one. Okay, and now we come to that hole right in here. So we're just going to go straight in here, and we find it on this side and go straight in here and slip stitch. We're going to chain 1, and now we're going to move on to the next cluster. So I'll find the first one and the first one here, just right there, and slip stitch. Okay, and the next one. So keep doing this all the way till you get to the end. So when you get to the end, you should have that space left, the one that we chain 1 in between the clusters on both sides. So there it is. So we're just gonna go in here and do our slip stitch to join. But now we want it extra firm because it's on the bottom. I'm gonna put another one in here to join. So I did 2. And now I'm just going to go just over one more, just kind of to tighten it. So into the next stitch is where I'm going to go. Because I always like to go one over just to make sure that it's all good. So there it is, done. And I'm going to just cut my yarn over and pull through. And it's time to weave in our loose ends. Take a smaller hook. And then we take our loose ends, and the easiest thing to do is to go around pull it in, go back and forth, always over the V, never go over 1. So I'll go 1, there, pull it here, and I'm gonna go down here to the little cluster here. Just gonna insert my crochet hook through 3 and pull it through. Perfect. I'll go 3 more or 4 more, whatever, and pull it. And now I'll just pull the actual yarn and cut it. And then when you pull it, you can't see it, and it's on the inside anyways, not on the outside.
You can wear it as is without a strap. Or if you want to make a strap, follow the instructions here. Place a marker where you want the straps to be, in the front, and also repeat it for the back. Then take a thread and just measure from top to the one in the back.
Okay, start by making a magic circle. So you just have it dangling in front of you. Wrap it around your 2 fingers, just like you did with the slip knot. Tuck it through. Insert your crochet hook, remove your fingers, but this time you don't pull like you do with the slip knot. This time you lift the yarn and then you yarn over and pull through. And that secures the magic circle. Now we pick up our yarn and we chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now let's put 4 double crochets right in there. And make sure you do it over both the tail and the circle. So that's 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now we chain 2, 1, 2, and we slip stitch in here. So again, we're going to go in here, yarn over, and just slip stitch to join. Okay, so now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're going to close our magic circle by pulling our tail like that, and we're going to turn our work, and we're going to put 4 double crochet into that space. This is where we chain up 3 right in there. So let's put 4 double crochets in there. Two, 3, 4, chain 2, slip stitch now to join the same circle.
So this is the repeating pattern. Chain 3, turn your work around, and in that space right there you're going to put 4 double crochets. Then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to slip stitch to join, and repeat till you reach your desired length. So I did 12 little clusters, and now what we want to do is we want to kind of make it straight near the top, so it makes it easier to connect.
All we're going to do is we're going to go into this space here, and we're going to do a single crochet, and go into this space here, over 2, and do a single crochet. I'll do one more. Just do a single crochet. There we go, and it makes it easier to connect. Yarn over and pull through.
So let's just go down and do the end of our strap now to finish that side.
We left a long tail because of this, and now we have to kind of build up this little thing because it makes it easier for us to hook on when we connect. So let's insert our crochet hook right in here. Yarn over, pull through, chain 2, and we're going to do a double crochet into that little space right there, and do another double crochet into this space, and there you have some things to work with when we go to connect. Yarn over and pull through. Okay, so we go to our marker. There's our marker. So we know that we do it on the outside. So I'm just going to match it. Insert my, and we do it on the good side. That, and I'm going to put it in right there. And we have our marker. Take a yarn, pinch an eye, like that. Insert a crochet hook and pull through. Hold the tail and the yarn and hook it on. Okay, I'll pull the tail. I'm going to chain 1. Okay, so now it's just attaching, and we're going to do that with the slip stitch. So we're just going to go into the next one, but to make it more secure, I'm going to go into the same space again, and again in the back, and do a slip stitch. I'm going to go into the next space, always under the V's where we want to be working, and get that little tail out of the way. And there we go. So I'm looking for the back there. There it is. Slip stitch to join. Get to the next space, there, and under the V in the next panel, and into the next one, just right there. And I think we're going to do one more, which is going to be this one here, and right there. And it's going to cut my yarn. Yarn over and pull through, So now when you lift it, okay, you'll see it's kind of seamless. In the back. Okay, and to do that, we're just gonna fold it over like that. And this is how we're gonna attach it. So just repeat the same procedure we did on the other side. And with the strap, just wanna always on the ridge. I'm gonna weave that in. This way. This way. It's a process.